foundationally, Christianity is not based on community. Okay? It is based on God. It has communal values. Okay? But it is not foundationally based on a community. It is based on God. Okay? And God's plan is what now we begin to understand as we practice the faith. Okay? Certain communal values, such as the tree can never make a forest. Of course, it is natural to human beings that we live in community. Okay? There is strength in numbers. When we are oppressed, when we feel afraid, we go to numbers to help us. Okay? But life teaches us that we must balance all these things with truth. Because God has also created us as individual beings. Okay? When you look at it from the scientific point of view, if we had evolved, okay, if we were supposed to be a really truly communal creatures, we would not have these units called individual bodies. Okay? Once you create such a unit as an individual body, you create another concept. And that concept must be recognized. If you don't recognize that concept, you run into a danger of confusion. Okay? So this is Matthew chapter 7 verse 13 confirms that wide is the path that leads to destruction, but narrow is the path that leads to life. Okay? Narrow, the path that leads to life is narrow. It's not the popular path. It's not the most obvious path. Okay, so population may not always be the answer to problems of life. Okay? This is just the idea. Now there is a subtle dilemma in the Christian faith. The Christian faith contends with this dilemma and continues to handle it. Okay? And it is strange that while God tries to bring us together under His love, as in Matthew 22 verse 27, He also makes us aware that we are to come to Him as individuals and not as necessarily as a community, while teaching us to love one another, of course. Okay? But He prefers to deal with us as individuals, these individual units of bodies, okay, that form the greater commune of the human race. Okay? Christianity was able to give to the West. Okay? Because of the works of Jesus Christ. The leaders of Christians, now you must be able to separate between the leaders of Christians, human beings like every other person, and Christianity. Okay? They also struggled with Christ. Okay? As Peter, if you study the Gospels, you discover that Peter struggled with Christ. Okay? Judas was also a leader, okay, within the apostles. He was a treasurer. He also struggled to the point that he betrayed Jesus Christ.